You mentioned the word risk, because it's funny when you talk to some investors that would put money in and borrow and syndicate or what have you. I don't think that subjectively people are purposely putting themselves in a risky position, right? It's just a matter of like perspective. For example, the stereotypical employee type of mindset would say investing is risky, but then you ask an investor and they say, well, if I only had one job and one employer and one stream of income where I had to trade my time for someone else's money, that's risky. Do you believe that you're actually taking risk, or you believe for yourself and your family that you're actually taking a less risky route? What's your take on that?
Well, maybe I'll take this on a bit of a tangent here, Roel, in that.
Sure.
So a little while back, I read an article that our peak earning years are like 45 to 48. Something that it basically hit me that this is a ridiculously low young age for you to reach your peak earning years, and that really hit home in that I'm seeing my parents are still pretty young, but they're in their like early 60s, and I'm starting to see them and their friends losing jobs or going backwards in pay, even though they're professionals and they actually have like some legitimate skills. People, when you're the highest paid person in your company, you have to realize that you are almost always on the chopping block, right? I mean, they're always asking whether or not you're the next one to go, and that is just so out of your control that I just feel like you have to plan for an income stream other than just a W-2 income, right? Because what happens if you're doing well, you're 55, you're making $100,000 a year, and now all of a sudden there really isn't a job market for a 55-year-old making $100,000 a year, and they can hire somebody that'll do it for 50. You almost have to immediately take a pay cut of $50,000 to be competitive again. And boy, that's a tough time in life to be able to have to take that pay cut. And so I like the idea of, if you invest, yeah, it's a little risky, but you should never be risking something you can't lose, right? I mean, and with that, well, okay, so there's that's gambling. I'm not sure to really go down that road. You wouldn't gamble something that you can't afford to lose. However, investing is not gambling. Investing is low risk gambling. I mean, there's always an opportunity, but there's an opportunity to lose as an employee, right? So I see it as you're weighing all of the risks, all of the concerns, and you're making educated decisions with your money. But I personally like the real estate side of things, because I mean, let's say you go out and buy a house for $200,000. I mean, that house is not going to be worth zero ever. I mean, at least that's how I see it. I mean, I guess maybe there's like a rock crushing company moved in next door. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have an issue, but I mean, I just see it that is the downside is almost never going to be zero for something like that. Where stock market, there's a potential, I guess it could go to zero, but either way, I mean, I think investing is it's making educated guess after educated guess, rather than just you're not flipping a coin, which I think a lot of people. Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing.